we would like to contribute to everyone who's stuck in the COVID time. Actually, not. Actually, for the general people or even scholar who want the kind of hard content that we want to share our work, is it mean our life. Dissertation is our life because we spend, almost more than 25 hours a day actually with
Yes.
it,
Mhm.
and it's become something that if we not finish, we will feel like we have something in our mind, our heart, and our body all the time. It's very heavy. That's right, Ajahn King. When we walk, it's like we have a heavy legs, and when finished, it's fine. We can go to any place, anywhere. Okay. Let me introduce Dr. Widodo. I think most of uh, people in the group, just only 5 or 6 people that not know you. Dr. Widodo come from Faculty of Architecture, or maybe you call Department of Architecture, from National University of Singapore. Uh, Actually, I and you met about in 2011. It's almost 10 years already.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are still young. Okay.
Yes.
And, and Dr. Widodo is a renowned in urban history and conservation things, and he become right now become a jury member of the UNESCO in cultural heritage in Asia, right? And he is a member of everywhere, a lot actually. He member about more than 100, I think, and his work
No,
is
no.
very because you said to me, you said 30%, I count it 17, and you said 30%. Um, so when I read your book, his book is Board and the Cities, come from his dissertation. So this is all about, it's also about morphology, about the settlement of the Chinese diaspora that moved from China to come to inland Southeast Asia. We have to understand, first of all, mainland and inland. Maybe you explain about this. And I think your work is about inland Southeast Asia, except Thailand, because you select in the end of Thailand, maybe count inland too. Uh, okay, I will turn to you, Dr. Widodo. You have to share, so I will send you become a host right now, so you can share.
No, I don't. Well, you don't need to give me a host. Well, but it's okay. But thank you to invite me as the first English-speaking person in this group. Uh, I cannot speak Thai besides Sawadi, and all this has been. But you see, my background actually is from Patani. And this is in the small village called Bangkruse. It's a very, very famous place in the study of history, but also the mosque is also very, very important um, site. So I was asked to speak about something like archaeological artifacts, because it has been more than 25 years ago when I finished my dissertations. 25 years is half a quarter of century. But the journey actually is not just from 1992 when I began my PhD study and finished in 1996, but long before that. So maybe I just give you, I just share my screen. Oh, okay. So you disable me to share screen. Let me, okay. Maybe you need to give me a host so I can
Yeah,
share my screen.
yeah, we
Yeah.
try every many times. So this is the best. Is that you become the host.
No, because this is your setting. This is not my your setting. Okay. 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 Let me just use this. All right. Okay. So my aim here actually is just to tell my life journey. Well, I use this title, The Book and the City is the title of the book that come later, many years after my dissertation finished. The book was published in 2004. My dissertations finished in 1996, so it's about 8 years apart. So in between, I have a lot of things to add into the books. But the theme remained the same. I think that is more like symbolical. Why I use the term boat? Because boat is something to do with journey, something to do with immigrations, with diaspora culture. And I'm not just talking about the Chinese diaspora, because of course in this book, in my dissertations, I was talking about the Chinese diaspora from southern China in more specific way. But in reality, actually, my study is more interested into the layering process. Diaspora not just coming from China, but also coming from India, from Yemen, from Africa, even British, Dutch, Portuguese. All of them came to this region called Southeast Asia, and they start to plant the seeds. So this book, I think is it's not available now. Some people just make a speculations. Now it's become $100. Originally it's only $25 Sing dollars. So in US dollar, maybe it's around 20 or something. One time if you go to Amazon, some people say
Yeah, I said.
it's become $600. So don't buy this book. So I plan to, if I have time, actually to upload this for free because I still have the PDF of this book. I have to do some editing. So this book is a result of a journey of my career. So why I used to, I was invited to a talk in Malacca in Kuala Lumpur by Badan Warisan, the Malaysia Heritage Trust, some in 2016, some years ago, and asked me about they asked me to tell about the I say I myself is a hybrid person. I call myself a cosmopolitan mongrel. You know, mongrel is a dog that meet whatever dog on the street, and then they breed, and then they have a different dog. But this is very resilient dog compared to German dogs, for example. I said that, well, why? Because this is what Southeast Asia is all about. We are situated in a very open regions. So I call it I call the context, the region, as the Mediterranean Sea of Asia. I mean, I don't want to use the word South China Sea because politically it doesn't have to belong to China. Even in this present situations, if you use the word South China Sea, it means that maybe we submit all this sea into China. But the Mediterranean Sea of Asia is referring to the Mediterranean and Europe. It's the sea in between the Tropic of Cancer and the equator. And within this area, you have a lot of cross-fertilizations of different cultures from Japan, from Okinawa, Ryukyu, and then mainland Southeast Asia, India, Sri Lanka, the Arabian Peninsula, Africa, even the so-called the colonials power from the Portuguese, Spaniard, British, French, German, Brito, name it. And this layering process, the cross-fertilization process happening since the first civilizations when people travels until now. And this is the city that I visited for my research. And it's not just happening in 4 years of my study. I like walking, you know, like Johnny Walker. I keep walking. Because I like walking. I like to stumble upon a small eateries or small shops, local bookshops, and then talk to local people, enjoying local food. these are things that has been inside myself even when I was still in junior high school. So when I was studying in the bachelor, for my bachelor degree, of course, it's very busy. I have no time, no resources to travel. But once I graduated, I become a lecturer at my university in Bandung, in Indonesia. And that is the time that I start to be able to walk again. So I start to visit cities in Java, in Sumatra. I have no time to go, no money to go abroad that time until I got my opportunity, went to Belgium for my master degree in 1986 to 88. And during that time, I pick up topics. It's on the morphology of the coastal cities in Semarang, Central Java.
Oh, okay. You continue.
Which is